Okay, I think we are up and running. Welcome everyone to the Indiana CTO Council Clinic Preview Lunch and Learn session. We're really excited about the clinic coming up. I'm sure you're seeing all sorts of excitement getting started on LinkedIn and in your inbox. So we're glad you're here with us today. Jeremy Miller is going to be running the chat. And so he's really good at trying to get you to engage in our conversation. So please do that. If he asks you a question, let us know what's going on and what's going through your mind. Okay, let's get started. Of course, we always start by thanking our platinum partners. Without them, we would not be able to do any of our events. And so we're thankful that they are supporting us and the work we're trying to accomplish. And today we have two platinum partners with us today, Magic School and 5-Star. So they're going to share with you in just a minute. If you have not registered for the clinic, this is your chance. Grab the QR code. It'll take you to the site. The thing that I feel like we're really trying to let people know right now is April 6th is the official end of our hotel block reservation. So for your better pricing in your hotel room, you want to make sure you lock that in before the 6th. I've put out in some publications that it's the 5th because I know some of us are easily distracted in booking our rooms, and I thought I'd give you a cushion. So now you know you really have the 6th if you joined this session today. But make sure you get registered. We have the sessions in our schedule, and we've got presenters making some final edits, and we're hoping that you will see the schedule officially out by the middle of next week. So be on the lookout for that. Here's our panel today. I'm Kathy Gobin from Evansville Christian School. I usually host most of our lunch and learns. Jeremy Miller, I mentioned before, is monitoring our chat. Chantel Manahan is our chair, and she's got a lot to share. Jamie Ramos, he's joining us. He is our secretary, or treasurer, sorry. And Bill Stein from Mount Vernon, he has been our partner coordinator extraordinaire for the clinic this year. So if you are a partner and you're joining this call, you have probably been in contact with Bill. He's really keeping you all up to date. All right, I'm going to throw it to Kurt and Magic School. Take it away.
All right, very good. It's nice to be here with you all. We are super excited to come back next month, is it? Is it coming up next month? To be back at the in Noblesville for the CTO Council. These are our people. I've got Megan also on with us. Megan, do you want to say hello and walk us through a couple resources that we have here?
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I'm an Echo Kurt. Really excited about next month and seeing everybody in person. We just wanted to share a couple fun updates for some light spring break-ish season reading. So, we recently put out a few white papers, and then we're upgraded to 95% privacy rating from Common Sense. So our trust and evaluation team is really proud of that. So if you want to read more on that, you can. We've got some cool impact reports, so some fun data there, and then for the techie folks in the room, I'll let Kurt talk about the AI safety loop and the evaluation process, but I was really proud of our companionship work and the things that we're doing to mitigate companionship with kids and AI. And so there's a white paper about that too. So just
Yeah.
wanted to share some reading.
Light reading, super light,
Like,
easy, easy. I'm very proud of the safety loop one. As you look at that one, that is the in the lower left-hand corner, continuous approach to AI safety in K-12 classrooms. That's what a lot of schools are trying to figure out right now is like AI is great, but how do we make sure it's safe and supportive within a K-12 classroom environment? And so that white paper is awesome. In there, you're going to find a screenshot of our evaluation system. So we have this evaluation system that's looking at all the different large language models and rating them on all types of criteria from student safety, diversity and inclusion, writing quality, tone, math, factual accuracy, how well it obeys what you're trying to get it to do. So definitely check that out. Our team has invested a lot in that resource. Last thing I think we'll mention is not only is April 6th the final date for the hotel block. Thank you, Cassie. It's also the last day of the digital learning grant. So if your team is thinking about trying to make sure you can leverage those funds, if you can try to get those funds, I think we qualify in all four of those different criteria that the digital learning team is supporting that's aligned to this grant. So let us know if you have any questions about that. Email Megan, myself. We've got some great resources. Megan, tell them about what you created to help them out with that.
Do we have time? We created some chatbots that have all of the grant information baked in the back. So they will help you write the grant. They know the grant. They have all of that ready to go and then help you evaluate your grant. You can't evaluate your video though, so good luck with that.
Someone needs to work on adding that to the Magic School platform.
I'll work on that, tonight maybe.
Okay. All right. Thanks for sharing. Billy, you're up.
I'm up. It's just me. I'm solo, and I've got just this one slide. No light reading, so I'll leave that to our Magic School partner friends there. I'm glad you mentioned the DLG. We are just focusing on that fourth tier, working on the parent side of things. So same thing, just going to go ahead and ride the tailcoats of the DLG message, but super excited. I haven't been to the clinic. I didn't get to go last year, but I'm going to be in person this year. So representing both 5-Star and Empower Learning. I know our team, again, absolutely loves this organization. We're so excited to be partners with you all because we truly do value the time to learn from you all. What are you all working on? What are the challenges? What are the frustrations? How can we adapt what we do to serve you, whether it's on the technical services side, teacher evaluation, cybersecurity, et cetera. I'm really excited to show you all what we have cooking. We are working on a new platform that helps visualize the services that we provide. So we'll be able to talk to that at the clinic, as well as with Spark, which is kind of our new tiered support model that incorporates those like virtual support tickets where you can live chat with one of our folks all the way to the engineering support that we do. And we're starting a podcast and we're going to be doing some interviews at the CTO clinic. And by that, I mean, I'll be doing the interviews. So if I reach out to some of the familiar friendly faces on this panel, don't be surprised, but so excited to be in person with you all and to continue this partnership for years to come.
Thanks so much. I do have to say, 5-Star is also our first time ever Diamond partner, which I think is a pretty big deal. So you're going to see 5-Star out and about at a different level than maybe we've had before. So thank you for that partnership. That's huge.
Absolutely. Proud to be here.
Okay, well, let's get diving in. We have a pre-conference workshop this year, and this is the first time, to my knowledge, since I've been around that we've ever done this, but Pete just has put together an off-site workshop. So I want to make sure I emphasize this is not at the embassy location where our clinic is located. It is actually in Noblesville at the Noblesville School Educational Service Center. We do have, when the sketch goes live, it's going to be available for you to add to your schedule in the sketch, but it's very important that everybody knows that the sketch registration does not register you for this event. In the description of the sketch, there is a note about that that says you must fill out the Google form to register so that we know you're coming. So please make sure you do that. If you are interested in the event, the QR code here will take you to that Google form so that you can register for that. So if you're interested in some additional training, you definitely want to check that out. Lunch is being provided, so you're taking care of their Matrix Integrations is providing lunch. Okay, so we're going to kick off with a little bit of info on our keynote speakers, and Hamish Brewer is going to be our Thursday keynote. And if you don't know anything about him, I've put a QR code there with his website. He is just an outstanding human. You can do some Googling, see some of his videos. He is an engaging speaker. He is emotional and moving, and I think that it's going to be just an exciting add to the clinic. I had a call with him and Jeremy Miller just a few weeks ago. Jeremy, I don't know if you want to share anything about that call as well.
Well, yeah, we spoke with Hamish. Very excited to have him come. He is high energy. Um, I even love his accent as he talks. It's not an American accent, but he is going to be talking, to us about his experiences from when he was a building principal and how we can work better as leaders to connect with people. So I think it's going to be a great session, and again, high energy.
Okay. And then on Friday morning, we're going to be kicking off with Carl Hooker. Carl is a name that I think a lot of people are familiar with in the CoSN network and organization. We actually had a call with him right before this session today, and we're looking forward to the session. He's going to be doing some leadership talk alongside AI and just the revolution that continues to keep revolving. Chantel's a personal friend, so I don't know if you'd like to add anything else about Carl for the rest of the
Carl and I go way back. You may remember back when iPadalooza was a big deal back on the Twitters in the day. But he kind of started one of the first big ed tech conferences way back. And if you've never seen Carl before, what I can tell you is you are going to learn, but you are definitely going to laugh and you're going to be entertained.
Yeah, I think what struck me about Carl during our phone call today was just his sense of humor. So I do agree with Chantel on that from my limited contact with him. I think people will really enjoy his presentation, his keynote.
Okay, so let's get into the clinic as a whole. And I'm going to throw this first question to Chantel. The EdTech Leadership Amplified, that's our theme for the year. Maybe you've noticed there's a little bit of rock and roll vibe being tossed around. But Chantel, tell us about the theme, what your vision for that is.
Yeah. So we kind of go back and forth for the last few years for the CTO clinic. 1 year it's kind of a little more serious, and last year we talked about empowering humanity through ed tech and revolving around AI. So this year we wanted to do something a little celebratory, and I thought, well, why not a rock concert theme? And the theme EdTech Leadership Amplified really came to my mind because so often what we do is so important, so integral. Our school systems cannot run without us. I mean, everything from HVAC to instruction to access controls to food service. It all relies on our network and our expertise. But a lot of times we don't get a lot of credit for that. And we're not really good about standing up and taking that credit and being visible about what we do anyway. So it's part of it's on us because when things are running smoothly, we're in the background and no one notices. So the idea is that this is a celebration of all of the hard work that we all put in every day to make sure that our students, teachers, staff, and community have the best available technology and just amplifying our voices, amplifying our work, amplifying the network that we have here in Indiana. And if you've ever gotten a chance to go to a CoSN conference and ISTE and FETC, you know that Indiana is not like other places in ed tech. So let's amplify everything that we do, amplify each other, and amplify our impact.
Fantastic. That's a good kickoff. All right, so let's dive into our first topic that we're going to be discussing. So as leaders, we often focus on the classroom, but several sessions this year in our clinic are about hard hats, construction, and phone system upgrades. So why is it critical?
Oh, she's gone.
We lost Cassie.
Oh, there she is.
We could probably go ahead and answer.
Yeah, technical details. We'll get her back on. But yeah, so we were answering the question, why is it critical for a modern CTO or technology director to be in the room during the blueprint phase of construction rather than just showing up on move-in day? What do you think, panelists?
Well, for me, it's always I don't want to come in afterwards and band-aid things that could have been done beforehand and probably a lot cheaper. You think cameras, suddenly you want cameras to be put up on a brand new building, but if we had thought about that at the beginning stages, we could have built the infrastructure out to where those cameras are going to go. So you could really save money and just operate more efficiently if you're in that room at the beginning.
Sometimes
Yeah.
if we're not in the room at the beginning, we end up being the holdup on finishing things because I mean,
Mhm.
I've run into the situation where I found out about something after the fact, and then there's a supply chain issue, and I can't get the switches I need for several weeks, and we are the holdup of the finish of the product.
Absolutely. A lot of it is infrastructure. You may decide you want power in the floor and you thought about that months
Yeah.
after the fact. Or even, yeah, like you said, we want door fob readers on these doors and we didn't plan that ahead of time. And those doors need to be able to unlock with power in those doors. But also it's a lot of relationship building, just like what we do every day with our groups at school and where we work is getting to know those people right off the bat helps you along that process. So if you don't know those people's names, you don't know those contacts, you're dealing with subcontractors here and there. Not knowing them doesn't help a lot when you need to get things done. So jumping in as early as possible gives you those contacts right off the bat, which helps along the way.
I'm back and I'm really excited about these sessions because I personally just went through my first construction project over the last year and it was a learning experience. So I've advocated for some of these sessions because I know other people are going to be experiencing the same journey and struggle. And so getting this out in front of people, I think is huge to have more conversation about how to handle construction. What about phones? I feel like we keep seeing on the heck list maybe a lot of people looking at updating intercoms and phones. And do you see that as well? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that?
Our phone systems are and our intercom systems are on a rotation cycle, just like everything else is, but they're a little bit tricky. You got to make sure you have the right systems in place, and they're very expensive if it comes to trying to replace the whole thing. And even the door intercoms, the AI phones or the intercoms, whatever system you want to put in place, those are just as imperative to making sure that the office staff can unlock those doors and see who's out there. Though we include those as part of those projects. Yeah, making sure those vendors, especially locally or in Indiana, can support the systems you want to put in place. It's important that you're part of those conversations right off the bat, just like we talked about with the construction projects.
I agree with that. I feel like a lot of the updating of systems is also in part due to just increased security needs. Many schools, maybe who have buildings that have been around for a while, have been on maybe an analog system in terms of intercom, and now they've got to talk about putting in an IP based system. And do they need that to integrate with their alerting systems and their entry systems. And it's just the whole world is evolving in school security and communication. I think that people are at the point where they're realizing their analog systems are out of their lifespan.
I think Jamie hit something really important here too about making sure that these things are also on your regular rotation cycle. I know in my district that was, when we were on our analog systems, that wasn't even a question mark. Like they weren't even thinking about having to replace those systems. And, the minute you upgrade those, now you're on that timeline. When are we going to replace these again? When are we going to update? When are we going to upgrade?
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how many people on the call here are still using the Duquesne systems that went out of. Okay, there. I'll put me down as well in the chat. So yeah, we got some work to do there, but obviously our job is driven by whatever's burning down at the moment, and those seem to seem to be holding up, even though they've been out of service for quite a while.
Okay, let's hop on to the next one. Is my screen still sharing for everybody, or whenever I got dropped, did it?
It's
Yeah,
not
we're
there.
not sharing anymore.
I'm going to reshare that for you. I apologize for that blip. Okay, here we go. Cybersecurity. It's no longer just an IT issue, it's a governance issue. What are your thoughts on this? We have lots of sessions on incident response, data governance. Brad Hag has a session on free cybersecurity resources that I think is going to be super helpful. What do you think people are going to be able to take away to share with their other leadership, their superintendents, their CFOs, in terms of cybersecurity?
Well, I think it's important to, as budgets shrink, looking at what resources are out there that can, be cost neutral or free or whatever term you want to use. Also, Brad mentioned it earlier in the chat that some of the things coming down the pipeline, Indiana Code 413.1, with the assessment that has to be done. I think learning about things like that are going to help position tech leaders to know what's coming, what needs to be done to be compliant. So I'm looking forward to those sessions.
I think there's a lot of unrest with, we've been able to take advantage of a lot of grant money to fund a lot of our cybersecurity resources the last few years. And we know that the state and local cybersecurity grant isn't forever, and there is going to be a definite endpoint there. So making sure that we have a plan in advance before all of those things sunset is going to be really important. And I think that's another reason that Wednesday cybersecurity masterclass is going to be so essential.
I would say, collection of all of these sessions will really give you what you need to talk to your superintendent and your board about cybersecurity and answer their questions, because the school board, they're going to want to know what our risk is. What's the risk, and what are our plans if something goes wrong? That's really going to be their main two questions. And I think the more you can get into these sessions, you're going to be able to answer those questions and really focus on what the board wants to know.
And this would be a great opportunity to say, invite your superintendent and your CFO to the clinic. I feel like I've experienced bringing them along. My CFO's coming this year again, and it really just shifted their perspective and understanding, getting them in the room and letting them hear from all around the state what people are working through, so that they know when you come in and say, hey, we need to do this, that it's not just you making it up. It's like, this is the best practice approach that our joint collection of Indiana tech leaders are working on together.
And just to get on my soapbox, because I like to do it, just to remind everyone, when you do talk to your superintendents and school boards, the as far as what the causes of cyber attacks are, depending on what study you look at, it's anywhere between 40% and 90% is social engineering, phishing, people being fooled by different things. So we try to take a risk-based approach to our cybersecurity protections, and that has to be at the top of the list. And I feel like sometimes it's an afterthought in some cases. Our state has a great resource in KnowBe4 for phishing and video training, which is incredible. It's amazing that we have that. And I don't think other states are so lucky, but that's just a piece of the puzzle when it comes to your human firewalls. I'm done.
Check out Bill's cyber shorts shared in the chat by Brad.
Thank you. And here's some resources that I just threw together. I'll put that in the chat as well.
Again.
Okay, Cassie's gone again.
Oh, no.
Anybody else have the slide deck up? Let's start.
Yeah, the next question is Indiana is making a big push with the Student Data Privacy Alliance. Why is it important to highlight statewide collaboration over districts trying to go it alone on vendor privacy agreements? And what are the benefits of getting involved in the Trusted Learning Environment cohort or participating in an event like the CCRE Masterclass?
Well, I love cohorts. Just because, we're just all learning together, and kind of going through the process together. We all kind of have the same questions, even though some of us may be at different places. It's a great way to learn for me personally.
Well,
I
I
like
think
the
that
cohort. Go ahead.
I'd say I think the perspectives of others as well. People in a group may be thinking of things that I haven't yet thought of, that can help me refine what I'm doing before I even take the first step, so that I am better organized and have thought through all of the different what ifs. So a cohort is great for things like that.
I think a cohort is great because it gives you a piece of accountability, a timeline. You're going to meet together with this group again at this specific time. So you want to make progress in between. And I think maybe me personally, I get more accomplished when I know that there's that next meeting is coming up, or in 1 month we're going to meet again.
Yeah.
And I can say, okay, I need to get these 3 things accomplished before then.
The accountability really
Makes
helps.
me more productive.
Yeah, really helps with us busy people.
Anything else that you all want to touch on about the Trusted Learning Environment cohort or the CCRE Masterclass before we move on to the next question? Oh, Cassie's coming back.
She's back, baby.
Sorry, I don't know what's going on.
No worries.
All good.
Okay, I'm back to sharing again. So here we go. If I go down again, I might just throw it over to you guys.
Just go home. I think we were going on to the next question, which was
Perfect.
Yeah.
Here we go. How does attending our clinic impact a leader to move forward from just managing systems to actually shaping the culture of their district?
I think a lot of school districts out there are still thinking of their head tech person as a manager, an IT manager of equipment, when that role has evolved over the years to more of a district leader, and technology being used as more of a utility that is critical. So really coming to that, and I remember when I came to that realization many years ago, that okay, this is more than me fixing file servers and computers and printers. This is, with the internet and everything that was going on, this has really evolved. So, and I think our clinic really sets people up for success in that vein.
Totally relate to what Bill just said. I had the same realization one day that we're not just repairing printers and fixing file rolls and putting web filters in place. There's a lot more to it. The clinic really helps you focus on relationships, your vision, and your influence, and not just the operations of the day to day. And that's what I feel like is the best part about it, is it gets us out of our day to day, sometimes break fix mindset. I have a staff member coming this year that this will be our first year coming, and she's excited to attend the new attendee session that we have. And she sometimes gets stuck in the break fix because sometimes that's what her job is, but she's got so much more potential, and I'm excited for her to go through our sessions and see other people saying the same words I've been saying. So
love that.
That's a really good point about making sure, if you can, bring someone else along with you. Don't just be if you're the tech leader, tap someone else on the shoulder and bring them along to the clinic. It's a fairly low cost way to get them in front of a lot of great technology leaders in our state and get them thinking differently about their job.
I love the fact that we're focusing openly on leadership this year. We always have, but this year it seems to be a little more fine-tuned. And, as a leader coming and listening to sessions, I tend to gravitate towards the leadership sessions just because I really enjoy that topic. But to hear like Adela speak from her experience and others just like her helps me sharpen myself as a leader, helps me kind of refocus myself on what I need to be doing as a leader, even outside of, myself in my tech department, but across the entire district, and to remind myself that, it's okay. We're doing a good job to kind of refresh yourself and encourage yourself.
I agree with all of that. I haven't been around for that long in this role, and being part of the clinic as an attendee, being part of the CTO to be mentorship program, being on the board now, has really just changed, I feel like, the trajectory of my professional experience. So the work I'm accomplishing, the networking and relationships I've built have been completely changed by being involved in this organization, and really in the larger organization of tech leaders across the state. So I'm bringing a couple people as well. I'm bringing a first timer who is going to be applying for the CTO to be program for next year. And so I'm really excited to continue to introduce him to all of you. And if you haven't met him so far, and just really encourage people to grow and develop and how they can contribute to our organization. So, okay, well, I think we're way ahead of schedule, because this is our last slide. I had to one more time say, now that you've been here for the Lunch and Learn, you've heard about how we're focusing on leadership, the sessions that are going to be coming. If you were on the edge, hopefully you're not now, and you need to register. So make sure you register for the clinic. Of course, before our clinic, COSA National is coming up, and we have a ton of Indiana people attending. And so Chantel's actually going to be sending out a know before you go if you're from Indiana. So we can make sure all the Hoosiers can get together and network and, spend time together while we're in Chicago. So be on the lookout for that. Chantel, when are you planning on sending that?
I'm going to send it this afternoon. And here's the caveat. COSN gave us the list of attendees, but if you chose in your registration that you did not want to share your email address, they did not share your email address with me either. So I know a lot of you, and so I will do my best to find your email address. But if you are attending the national conference and I do not send you an email later today, feel free to reach out to me so I can send you the email. Because I want everyone to get, it's just an outline of all of the events happening, all of the sessions that are going to be given by folks from Indiana, and there are a lot of them. All of those extra workshops that you can add on. Some of them cost a little, some of them cost a little bit more, like the advocacy auction, but all kinds of fun events. And then also that important list of all of our partner events that are happening throughout the COSN conference, but especially on Tuesday night. So we'd love to see you there. I also want to give a big shout out to our friends at CDW who are going to host an Indiana only reception starting about 9:30, 10 o'clock on Tuesday night. And they're still setting up that location. But there will be after all of the boat rides, all of the dinners, all of the festivities and everything else, they're going to host an Indiana only invite. So be on the lookout for that secret location coming up for Indiana folks only.
And we do plan to do an Indiana group photo too. So
on Monday. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's all we have. We're wrapping up early, but that gives you 20 minutes if you haven't registered to get registered, because you already have this time set aside. All
and
right.
Get your hotel room.
Yes, before April 6th. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye.